All right. Welcome to the General Tire Jim Beaver Show with my good friend Antron Brown, AB, man. I'm trying to think last time. I think we caught up at PRI a little bit, but I'm talking formally. You and I have talked on some other projects that we're going to be announcing here later on, I guess in the spring. So we're not even going to talk about that today. We got some big news coming out of AB, but I'm trying to think. I know on the show, I think it might have been around the time you announced AB Motorsports, man.
I know, man. That was Jim. I can't believe how much time fly, man. I remember having a good time out there doing the Mint 400, man, and having a blast doing that. And I got to get back to the dirt one day, man. I got to get back. I'm telling you. And I got my feet wet, got my I got my mouth salivating to get back out there again. But the coolest part for us, man, is that come a long way in this journey, man. From hired driver to winning championships to winning team, to owning the team and actually winning championships, man. And it's been incredible, brother. It's been incredible along the way, man.
From 2 wheels to 4, dude. That you missed that whole section. You went from 2 to 4,
brother. I didn't want to go way back. You get somebody online and they go, "Hey, man, I want to start when I was 4 years old and I got my first dirt bike." I was trying to give the short version of it, man, but definitely the 2-wheel warrior deals and coming from moto. I think motocross was a great foundation for what got me to where I'm at, because I learned the hustle and bustle and what it took to dedicate yourself and get on a regimen. And that's why I have so much respect for those guys that race supercross and motocross, just the technique side of it, and where they come from and how they ride a motorcycle like that's pretty amazing. And for me, coming from that to Top Fuel, I took all that same mindset and discipline into the craft that I do now, and it's catapulted me to where I'm at right now as a champ. So I'm just truly blessed, man. And to do it the way we did it, man, this year, Jim, I mean, any fan that was watching NHRA drag racing this year, if you were trying to bet on it, like play NHRA on the gambling deal, you weren't winning every weekend, because it was somebody different every weekend. Every weekend it was different riders, different racers. And Doug Coletta came out killing it. Langdon came out killing it. Justin Ashley was doing what he does all the time, and Clay Millick and everybody, Steve Torrance. Brother, we just wanted to get in the winner's circle one time. You know what I mean? We're like, all right, what we got to do? We won 3 races the previous years, which was it's a good race amount to win per year, being how competitive the class is. And this year I told myself, if we're going to win a championship, you got to win 6 races this year. We got to go back to win at least six races. And we did that, man. The final in Pomona, we won our 6th race of the year. And that pretty much put the stamp on the championship for us. And that's what it took to get it done.
Well, and I think that's honestly, this year was wild. And I think I look back over Top Fuel last couple of years, and there was a couple of years there where our boy Steve Torrance he was dominant, man. And everybody was kind of playing catch up. And I feel like everybody's caught up now and even surpassed where he was at, because this year, like you said, I mean, if you're a fan, every single weekend, you had no idea who was going to merge and be the front runner. I mean, you go through qualifying and all of a sudden there'd be a different name at the top of the list. You're like, man, they brought their A game this weekend. And then the following weekend, it'd be somebody completely different. And it was a shakeup every single week, man.
It was, man. And the touch about Steve-O right there, man. And what he's done in that team been super impressive over all those years, that span he did it in, because he did it when the class was really competitive. He dominated. It wasn't like he had any give-me's, you know what I mean? And to do what he did, where he won 4 championships in a row, that was really, really special. And where he really showed out is when he won all 6 countdown races in a row, man. He won every one of them. Like, he was like, "Here I am, fools, get some." You know what I mean? And I was looking at him like, that's pretty special. Like, the car was on point. He was on point. And now, like, this is the difference. Back then, even when I won my championships, the tough rounds, you can get some tough rounds in the second round. If you qualify good, your first round, if you went out of track, you're going to win that round. Second round got a little tougher. Semis, you could it's a monumental round, right? Get to the finals, always the final round, like it's as tough as it gets. Well, now, brother, you got that in qualifying. There's are races that you might not even qualify for, like at all. Like not like Doug Colletto won a race, and then the U.S. National comes out and had 5 rounds of qualifying and did not make the show because it got hot. And you only had like 2 night sessions to get in, and Allen is not shy, brother. When that, like you saw what you saw Langdon did. That team is not shy. We only had 2 rounds of qualifying getting into Pomona, and we're like, oh, they're going to tame that down. They're going to just go down track to like a 72. No, Brian Houston came up and dropped to 75 and went to number 1 on the charts for the time, and then somebody bumped him down when it's 64. But those guys are not shy at all, man. And sometimes it gets you, man. I've been there, got us several times like that too before. And when you're looking at it now, to win a race, you have the special. Winning the race is like winning the championship inside of itself now. Like you got to show up at every race, qualify good, but not just qualify good. You have to race good because every round is a final round, period. And everybody's doing their homework to be better. You just can't go up there and outrun somebody some more. Everybody's running the same. Now the driver's got to show up and be on this game and do the same thing every lap after lap. And that's what gets it done.
Well, and let's talk about something because you're talking about how strong the competition is. And I've been, obviously, I've been friends with you for quite some time now, probably better part of a decade, and Steve and stuff like that. And I know I've really, since, our friendship really started watching NHRA, and I'm watching currently other forms of motorsport struggle with sponsors, teams, dropping out. There's all kinds of struggles going on. And I feel like NHRA right now, you guys have an influx of teams coming in. The digital media is great. Attendance at the track is great. TV ratings are great. It's like, I feel like NHRA, as every other form of motorsports, is starting to have struggles. NHRA, man, you guys are boots on the ground, just full speed ahead. It's actually really remarkable what NHRA has been able to do right now.
Well, I think the biggest thing about our NHRA Mission Few drag racing series is that we have a lot of stories to tell. You know what I mean? It's more than just winning. It's what all the drivers are doing on and off the racetrack, of course. And we have a lot of different characters at play. When you come over, you can see a driver or somebody or crew member that represents wherever you come from. You get what I mean? That's on my team in general. I got guys and gals from all over the place. Got gal Elise. She's from up in Ohio, near Sandusky, near Cedar Point. Then I got a cat on my team is Ryan. He's from down there near El Paso, Texas. And then I got Adrian that was on our team. That joker's from Jamaica. I'm like, it's like he speaks on me. I'm like, "Wagwan man." That means like, "What's going on in Jamaican?" I said that to him. He goes, "How you know that?" I said, "I went to school with a whole bunch of Jamaicans, man. They're on the track team. Them jokers can run like me." You know what I mean? So I'm laughing and having fun. But the thing about it is, our sport is so rich and diverse that it's pretty remarkable. And you have gals like Erica Enders, and you also have other people in our sport that race like my teammate Angel Sampe, like world champions, 3-time, 6-time world champions that are females that are killing it. And you got upcoming for like Ida from overseas, a European world championship racer. We've got so many different characters. And now our sport is doing such a good job, and especially beyond the Fox network, of unfolding and telling those stories. And then you get to see them put the helmet on and go to battle. And you see it, and the cars are so close and so tight. Who's leaving on who's doing what's happening, how they making it happen. And that's what makes our sport so special. And you got Tony Stewart coming from NASCAR doing his thing. And his wife is a drag racer. You know what I mean? Leah's out there doing her thing, man. And then she got pregnant. Then they had their son Dominic. It's like you're seeing all this stuff, like
a reality show in a good way.
You know, like it's live, and then drag racing as a whole's been on that, Jim. You know what I mean? From the No Prep Kings to to like Drag Illustrated, the 3-race pro mod series that I'm being a part of now, that's tying all the culture of drag racing to race against each other with pro mods. I mean, you've got all this stuff happening, man. And I just love to be in it. It's a great time to be in drag racing, because it used to be really hot back in the 70s and 80s. And now it's got that vibe coming back again.
Yeah, well, and you know, that's it. You got manufacturers involved, things like that. It's wild to me. It's really been cool over the last 6-7 years to kind of be a part of it and watch how it's escalating. And I think that kind of leads me into the next question. As we talked before, but it's like the influx of team owners. You know, obviously you mentioned Tony Stewart, Nate, you know, Stuart Haas obviously shutting down out of, you know, on the stock car side of things. And now Tony, you know, jumping over here and you know, with an NHRA team, but you, AB Motorsports. And I know you had told me, you said one of the cool things, you know, first thing you know, we talked about it, I think before it was even public. And I said, well, how is things with Don Schumacher? And you go, great. He's actually pushing this because he realizes we need to expand. We need more team owners for the sport to grow, you know, and like, to me, that's what's crazy is new team owners, guys like you are stepping out from these, you know, let's put it this way. I mean, you were probably going to be a career guy at Don Schumacher Racing, probably had a ride there as long as you wanted it. You broke apart, started your own thing. I mean, to me, that's what's crazy is, you know, the business of NHRA is really good right now.
It is. And it's just like anything else. As long as you got the want to, and you got the willingness to work. And the thing about it is any business owner goes through the same thing. If you own your own business, Jim, what you do, you know what it's like. You know what I mean? And all the business owners know what it's like. It's like you have a lot of responsibility because the buck stops at you. Like, it's the reason why you ain't got nothing going on is because of you. You want more customers, you got to advertise, or you got to get out there, you got to do more things. And for me, I've worked so hard through my whole career and helped so many different things and did so many different things for other different, like, you know, corporations and partners and sponsors, is that I was doing it for everybody else all the time. I said, why can't I do it for my guys and for me? Like, why can't we do this together? And that's what AB Motorsports was all about, was coming together and doing something that was very special. And what's very special is that I always go out and over deliver to any of our partners that are part of it. And I have a vision of doing something different. You know what I mean? I'm making everybody a part of it. And as we grow, everybody in my organization grows. They're all a part of it. And it's not me being the chief or this or being in charge. I never was like that. I want to put people in the right place and empower them with the right opportunity and let them soar. And if they soar, and then I can soar, and everybody else in the organization soar, we all soar, and we can all grow. And that's what it's all about, man. And creating more opportunity and making it happen, man. Plain and simple. And that's my drive every day is what's next? What's next for me? So I'm like, all right, I want another team. I want to, like, you got to put it out there. I want to find the right partner to partner up with us, and we want to get out there and have another Top Fuel car or a funny car in the stable. And that's our goal. And that's what we're working on right now. And Angels is one of our main candidates. And then I know my son's coming up, Anson. He's going to try to get his feet wet, and I'm going to get him his A-Fuel license this next year and try to get him in a couple races, a few races. And I want to do some other things too. Like I want to develop that and grow it, and maybe have a pro mod team that races full-time on HRA circuit, or have, like, you know, I want to do some other things and grow and have fun doing it and embed myself in this racing, because this is what I love to do.
Yeah, I'm going to put it out there for anybody that's from Toyota listening in. We also need a Jim Beaver AB trophy truck team in the desert. So we're going to expand, AB. We're just putting it out there in the air. So Toyota, if you're listening and you want a Tundra trophy truck, AB and I got you dialed in.
That's it. Hey, I can drive that too. We can do it all.
Let's talk a little bit about this year, because you had some milestones. Obviously, 4th Top Fuel Championship. First, I want to talk about that. So you've won now as a team owner. How does that compare with the first one that you ever won? Obviously, you had one pro stock bike previously, but first championship in Top Fuel, and then first championship in Top Fuel as a team owner. How do they compare?
Man, I tell you, it's one of those deals that gets you teary-eyed, man. Like you think about it, you know what I mean? And you think about it and you go, it was a dream just for me to be an HRA, period, riding pro stock motorcycle. And everything else has been just extra topping on top, man. And to do it at Don Schumacher Racing and to bring those championships home, that was pretty special, man. Very, very, very special. And then to go off and peel off on her own, that's one thing that I wish that my grandma could have been here to see. My grandpa, the late and great Don Schumacher. I mean, there were a lot of people that were influential in my life to get me to where I'm at. And that's what was really, really special, man. Very, very, very special. So just got to look at that deal, man. And I think about it each and every time, but golly, man, it breaks me down. That's what makes it winning this championship so special, because I never knew I was going to even be here or even thought that I could be here. And to do it underneath our umbrella was very, very special, man. That was truly a blessing from the man above, man. And he always stayed first and steadfast in my life. And anything's possible when you have him at the forefront. And I'm living proof of that for sure, Jim.
Well, and I know, one of the other big things, 80th Wally. I mean, that's company, dude. I mean, I should have done enough research to know how many people have more, but I'm just, regardless, I mean, that's a huge amount of Wallies, buddy. I mean, that's some very elite company. I mean, how's that feel to have? I mean, 80 is a big number. It's a big number for anything.
I know it is. And you know what? You want to hear something even more crazier? I got about half the Wallies that John Force has. So that man is no joke, man. You get what I mean? He's like, good Lord. He's got that. He's going to have that scoring record for a long time. Like, you know how LeBron James has broke the scoring record? I don't know if somebody going to break that John Force record, man, the way the competition is.
That's just, you got to stick around for a long time to do that. It's like LeBron to be it's a great comparison. That's really a great comparison because, there's a lot of people that love LeBron, a lot of people that dislike LeBron for whatever reason. You got the Jordan versus LeBron. And I'm like, it's water under the bridge at this point. I'm like, dude, LeBron's age and the fact that he's doing what he's doing at such an elite level, most athletes, by the time they're LeBron's age, they're falling off. Like, LeBron's not. I mean, you look what he did in the Olympics. That guy was just destroying everybody. And I look at John Force, and I mean, same thing. About the time you think John Force is over, he goes and gets another Wally, You're like,
I know, brother. Hey, you know what it is? They don't quit. They have that attitude. And LeBron just been smart and took care of himself through his whole career. And that's why he looks like he's a monster on the court, brother. He's going to that joker could play for another 5 years if he wants to. Like, I guarantee he could play like 5 years. He's going to start slowing down because he wants to. You know what I mean? But that cat is still rolling, man. But for me, I don't know if I could ever race that long. I mean, I know one thing is that I say it every time. I have another good. I'm not even 50 years old yet, so I'm not like I'm getting old yet. You know what I mean? So I still got a ways. I got my counterparts in there that are racing. Some guys are racing in their 60s. They're 58, 59, 60 years old. Blah, blah. You know what I mean? I see a lot of people, if you stay in shape, they could be to 60, 65 years old. So if I have that, I still have a lot of racing left in me. But I can see myself racing for sure, without a doubt, for at least another 10 to 12 years, without a doubt. And I can race strong for another 10 or 12 years, I feel.
Well, and I think you're, obviously with AB Motorsports, you're building something. You talked about, you got your son coming up, and I mean that's got to be kind of a cool feeling to see him, start to put roots down and in drag racing, and get to be a part of his career as he comes up too. That's got to be something kind of special.
It is. He's Anson, watching him, man. I'll tell you what, that kid makes me so proud, and he's come a long way through all the different things that he does, and he's a heartfelt kid. He's very kind to a lot of people, and I tell you what, man, is that he's like, when you see your son, you always want the best for him and you push him. People don't understand me. Like I'm hard. Like people think, if you ask my kids, they'll tell you that they know that I love them. I don't yell at them, like very, very seldomly. But at the end of the day, I always challenge them. And sometimes I challenge them too much. I don't put pressure on them. I just know what they are capable of, and I want to push them to their limits, because if they get used to being pushed to their limits, they learn how to live there and how to operate at that level, and they'll put them on a different plateau. I mean, I just know that because that's how I was raised, and that's where I came from, and that's how I got to where I'm at. And I look at Anson every time, and the kid's got the ability. He's got the talent. He's smart. Man, he's doing great in college. He's been doing it all on his own. He's been managing himself. He's actually an old spirit caught in a young person's body. You know what I mean? And everything he's done on his own. I mean, the kid's made me so proud in so many different ways on how he took care of himself when he was young. My son used to be overweight. I never said nothing to him. Just let him do what he do. He's a kid. You know what I mean? And but I could tell a story where it's like life stories, man. And he was 14, 15 years old. He was like, my son had a heart condition that he had to overcome. A lot of people didn't know. And so he got out of breath really, really quick and easy because his heart beat it way too fast because it had an extra electrode in it. And then for him to overcome that, and then when he overcame that, he lost all the weight that he had on himself. And that joker lost over 150 pounds of weight. Man, he's down to 160 pounds. Like he's down to like 150 some pounds, and the joker is like in shape, muscles. He's almost 6 foot tall, like 5'11" and a half. And he did all his own, man. And people go, man, you helped Anson out a lot, man. You did this with that. I said, I didn't do nothing. He did that all on his own. And when you see somebody with that type of drive, I look at him, I said, Anson, you don't realize what you just done for yourself. There's nothing on this planet that can stop you from doing what you do, because you know how to get through adversity. You already done it. And I'm super proud. And he knows he doesn't hear from me much, but I love that joker to death. And I am super proud of him. I'm always in that era of pushing to get more.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The Rigid Chase Lite incorporates 5 modes, including stroke, brake, running, courtesy, and reverse in a compact 7-inch by 2-inch fixture. The Rigid Chase attaches to any roll bar or flat mounting surface, and users can control each of the multiple functions independently. The Rigid Chase is one more way for off-road enthusiasts to own the night.
I think we grew up in a different generation where, it wasn't, and I was always told that, my parents loved me and stuff like that, but it was also, there was expectations. You know what I mean? And they didn't let me slide, you know what I mean? And that was the thing where I was never allowed to slide. And I think I don't want to play the old man card because it makes me sound really old, but I think you'll agree. Like, I don't know that some of this new generation coming up has been pushed like you and I were. And it wasn't, you know, I don't want to say it was tough love. It was just, we were just pushed. There was expectations, and we knew that we had to operate at a certain level, like you said, you know. And I just, you know, I think with your kid coming up and being, you know, grown up the way you were, and my daughter's the same way, I think, you know, they know there's expectations and they're going to be allowed to slide through life. So we better buck up and make stuff happen.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Like, you got to show up, show out. And the thing about it is, it's like you tell people all the time, it's like, hey, man, I know I got to work hard. I said, no, you absolutely have to work hard. That's not even in the vocabulary no more. That's a must no matter what you do. And I said, and two, what you got to do is you got to get yourself uncomfortable. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable in life. And if you start learning how to do that and cope with that, then that's when the changes really start to happen. Because a lot of people, they want to stay in their own comfort zone all the time. And to be great, to do something that other people can't do, or you want to be better than what you were before, just you being better than what you were before, you got to get uncomfortable by doing different things to grow. And that's what people don't understand. And I tell them all the time, I said, man, if you keep on doing the same things and you're comfortable every day, you're just going to get the same result every day. Yeah. You know, it might be a little bit better today because you might got one more extra done or two more extra done, or you might got two less extra done the next day. But if you want to get up there where you could do something double time, you got to figure out how to make double time work, and that becomes your new norm. You know what I mean? So then once you get used to that, you go, how do I do triple time? You know what I mean? So that's kind of my mindset all the time, is that as I get older, how can I be better every day? What opportunities out in front of me every day? What can I go get? And man, doing this business deal, we're just growing and we're doing different stuff and we're making new things. And we have a new business, Jim, like not just racing. We have fab. We have fab machining here. And as a new business we took over, we do water jet and CNC, some CNC stuff. And water jet, we make all kind of brackets, mounts, engine plates, rear end plates. We do all kind of stuff here, man. And we took it over, and we got a crew back there, a 2-man crew back there running it. And it feels good to put our same mindset that we use in racing into a business and see what we could do with it. And right now we're just on the starting line, brother. The light just turned green, and we're going to see how fast we could turn this thing up.
And I laugh because you and I have such the same mindset where, you know, a lot of us are, I think you and I have been friends because a lot of similarities, but I laugh because it's like, you know, you've never met a lazy race car driver. And I say that because everybody goes, what do you mean? And they go, oh, like I get asked, you know, going to PRI show, what are you doing there? I said, making sure I got a job next year. And everybody laughs. I go, no, making sure I got a job next year. I go, you and I both, we're on year-to-year contracts, buddy, even though we own our own stuff. Like, we got sponsors to make happy. We got to hustle. I'm like, to live the lifestyle we do, people don't realize there is no guarantees at all, ever.
No, you got to produce. You got to produce. It ain't like out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. I tell people that all the time. You want to do something special, you got to be out there to make the special things happen. And that's what we do in racing, man. That's one thing that we do well. At AB Motorsports, we take care of all of our partners, but we become a part of their business. And that's the key element. Like, people want to know about sponsorship. Sponsorship 101 right now on the Jim Beaver Show right here. 101 on sponsorship, right? If you want to sponsor, for one, it's not about putting a sticker on your vehicle, and it's not about just doing social media. Social media is a big key to it now. But you've got to find out the direction that corporation's going in. And once you find out what they're trying to do, you got to make yourself a vehicle that can help them get there. And once you figure that out, then once you get a part of that and you become that vehicle, then you got to figure out how to change and service that vehicle so the tires never fall off, because you want to keep on being that vehicle so they don't go somewhere else. So that is the key element each and every time. And whatever you say you're going to do, just imagine you're going to do that and add and double time it, like we were just talking about, because that's what's going to keep you. Don't do just what you say you're going to do, over deliver and overshoot and give them more than what they paid for, and they're going to come back each and every time. Trust me.
I call it the adapt or die mentality. And I go every year, you know, it's like I haven't raced a car in 2 years, and I have kept all of my same financial sponsors that I had, and I haven't raced a car in 2 years because in our industry and off-road, it shifted to an extent where they were like, hey, we need more lifestyle content. We need you to go out. We need you to go on trails. We need you to prove our products in a recreational place, stuff like that, you know? So I had to step away for 2 years from what I love, still doing what I love, but it's in a different, you know, but that's what they needed at the time. And now we're already working on a new race car and things like that. But it was like I had to shift for a couple of years, you know, and you're constantly, you're moving and you're shifting. What do you need? And one of my favorite stories about you is, and I actually use this a lot when I'm speaking to young, you know, I do a lot of kind of coaching and speaking, and I go, my boy Antron, I go, I go, he's perfect. I go, because I said, when he got to deal with Matco, said, you went to Matco school. You went to what the guys with tool trucks do. And you said, hey, I'm going and doing this because I want to know when somebody asks a question, I want to be able to answer it just like one of the guys that owns a tool truck would be doing, you know? And I go, that's what you do. I'm like, Antron's the best ambassador I've ever seen, because you can ask you pretty much any question about a Matco tool and you can spit it off just like you owned a tool truck.
Oh, absolutely. I can. That's the whole nature of the beast, is because you got to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Like when people talk about Matco, I use all their tools because I work on stuff myself all the time. That's what I do. You know what I mean? And the funny part for me is when I get to do all that, I laugh all the time because I'm like, guy comes up and they need to do this or do that. I say, oh, you know what you need to use? You use an impact gun. Did you ever use one of their new Infineon ratchets? You use a 1/4-inch drive because that gets in there. You break it loose and you can use that to get to it. Or I'll tell them some different stuff that I use or some new things that they have. And they're like, how you know? I said, because I use it. You know what I mean? I use everything they got. And it's a blast and it's fun for me, is because when you get to represent a partner that you do and you work all the time, and when you get to do that, it's not working at all. It's easy because it's something that's a part of you already. And that's what makes it so special, man. And everyone on my car, I get to do all that stuff. I get to test drive all the Toyotas and rough ride them and do everything else, go to the proving grounds and do some different stuff with them. They're like, hey, babe, man, we'll take a new Tundra. I was like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of fun at the same time, but it's what you make of it. Because sometimes people will not have fun and they'll make it harsh and make it long days, or you can make it short and easy days and have fun what you're doing.
Yeah. So before we let you go, I want a couple things. One of the, I guess, big storylines coming out. So obviously you won, but it was kind of a little bit bittersweet, I guess. Great send off, but let's talk a little bit about Mark Oswald. I know he's been a big part of your program, and obviously losing him, how's that affect things at AB Motorsport?
Man, it affects us in a big way. I mean, Mark's always been a brother to me. Older brother, family here. We learned so many great things. It's going to affect us for sure. At the end of the day, we have people that's been here, that's moving up and doing different stuff, but his knowledge is invaluable because he's got so much in his mind and in the tank and everything he does. So easygoing, so low key, low maintenance, no work, no nothing. And he'll work like a mule, man. Never stop, makes different things. He's the modern day MacGyver. He could be at the racetrack and we got a lathe upstairs. That joker can whittle out anything and make anything. You give him a mill and a lathe, that man can fix anything you got. He'll pop the welder out, fix this, do that. He's an innovator engineer. And a lot of people don't even realize Mark is so quiet and settled. The reason why our top fuel chassis are the way they are is from him and a guy named Chuck Haase, who made the first round nose top fuel dragster, which was one of our cars. They built the chassis and made the wing so much stronger in the front nose. They adapted and made it all the fuel cars like that afterward. That's something that him and Chuck Haase's done years ago, that every fuel car has in the front nose now. So I look at all the stuff that Mark's been through and done, and I wish he wasn't retiring. I wish he could be here forever, man. But he's going to enjoy himself, and he's always going to come out. He's already coming out to some of the pro mod races with us. He's not done at all yet. I'm pretty sure he's going to come see us at some races and come hang out without a doubt. and be a part of our deal.
Well, that being said, where I guess Top Fuel's always been the pinnacle of NHRA drag racing. I mean, we've got to mention Funny Car also, but Top Fuel, I mean, where do you see the future of the class 5-10 years from now? I mean, you just told me you plan on racing for another 10 to 15. What direction do you think Top Fuel's headed?
Man, I can see Top Fuel, man, coming up here right now. It's gonna, I can see it getting stupid good. You're gonna see some monumental fields where you'll see more, like you see at some of the races we got now. We had like 26 cars at one race. We had 22 cars at one race and 20 cars at one race this year. So you're going to see some more fields like that. And I think you're going to see it grow with a whole new range of stars. You got a lot more teams that are helping other teams and get more people involved, and more people want to come up and race. And you have the entry-level classes starting to fill up with a lot of talented drivers like A Fuel and Alcohol Dragster and Alcohol Funny Car deal. And you're starting to see a lot more of them come to our sport doing what they need to do. And I think that you're going to start seeing the classes grow because of that.
So obviously capping off the season, you won the championship, you won at Pomona. I mean, that's always nice to win the championship and win the final race, dude. So I got to ask, just on a personal level, I see you're on the podium. You got an In-N-Out cup because they title sponsor the race. Did you get one of those like In-N-Out black cards where you get to go to In-N-Out for like a year and all you can eat for the year for free or anything like that out of that deal?
I didn't get that, man, but I need to get that card, brother.
I was gonna say, man, that's my first thing. I'm like, AB had to get some kind of one of those In-N-Out cards where you get, I know like Jimmy John's has the same thing with their athletes where you get free sandwiches as long as you got that card anytime you walk in. I'm like, man, AB needs to push for that.
Brother, I need one of those. Hey, I'm glad you said that. I need to talk to Lindsay at In-N-Out about that. Say, hey, since we won the championship, do we get like an In-N-Out card? Like I could walk up and say, bling, 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 yeah. Double, please.
You ever dip into the secret menu? That's the question. You ever dip into the secret menu at In-N-Out?
I haven't. What's the secret menu when you get an extra patty and all that other stuff?
Yeah, you can get like 3 or 4 patties. You can add cheese or chili and cheese to your fries.
Yeah, I saw the animal style fries. You get the chili and the cheese on it. Like I've seen that before, but I always just get it. I just get an In-N-Out double just with cheese and ketchup only. I'm a plain Jane guy, so and then I get the fries. Man, up and fresh cut fries right in front of you with a little ketchup on the side. I get their pink lemonade with the pulp in it. Oh man, Lord have mercy.
You're a guy then. Orange juice, same thing. You like a little pulp in your life.
It don't make a difference with orange juice. It doesn't bother me if it's got pulp or not pulp. It doesn't. But that lemonade, man, I don't know what it does, man. But it's good. It's good.
You know it's fresh when it's got a little pulp in there. You know it's fresh.
You know it. You know it. I think they put a little dye in it and make it pink, though. I don't know where the pink comes from.
I haven't seen any pink lemons, but yeah. Oh man. So obviously what else you got? You got PRI coming up and then all hands on deck. I mean, I guess NHRA doesn't start till the 1st of March with Gainesville, right? But I mean, what's the off season look like for AB Motorsports the next 3 months?
Well, the next 3 months, I'm actually leaving out today. I'm flying out tonight to go to Florida. I'm going to be in that 3-race winter series for Drag Illustrated for Pro Mod Racing. But a lot of people know we got one tuning up on February 4th through the 8th. We're going to be down in Braden, Florida for our pro shootout again, like we did last year for pro. So that's what's next on the board. That's kind of like our swing off.
Yeah.
Before the race season starts, where we're going to be in South Florida, and then we'll come back home for a little bit, and then we go right to Gainesville, brother. We'll be right at Gainesville for the first race of the year. And that's honestly what it's all about, is getting to Gainesville and making that happen, man, and having some fun, man. And that's the whole goal behind it, to do that. You know what I mean? And always love it. And we go down there. That's like our winter warm up, and we put on a great show for the fans. And it's all for Pro, our race organization, where it helps it grow, and we're just bringing more awareness out to drag racing, man. Giving the fans something that they can see us warm up. They can come see us close and personal in an environment that's not so intense. But we take it for real because we race for some big money down there too. So at the same time, it's one of those deals you got to come out and show out, man. We got to get you down there and do your radio show from down there is what we need to do.
Well, let's work that out. We'll have to figure something out. It'll be fun. It's been a couple of years since I've been out on site at NHRA rounds. Maybe we come do something from the AB hospitality area or something.
Absolutely, brother. We can do that.
That'll be fun. I just laugh because I'm like, I honestly think this whole shootout thing in February is because all you teams based in Indy are freezing your ass off, and you just want to go to Florida for a vacation.
Hey, you ain't lying, brother. Let me tell you something. That's why I did this drag racing illustrated deal where I'm going to race the pro my car so I could stay sharp. I'm going there to stay sharp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, a little warm weather in Indy, December, January, February. It doesn't hurt anybody, right?
No, it doesn't. It'll be just fine, brother. It'll be just fine.
Awesome, AB. Well, I appreciate everything, brother. Always fun catching up. But let's definitely plan on coming out to Florida. Funny story before I let you go. I've checked off, I think, 42 or 43 states in the country. Florida is one I haven't checked off. And everybody's like, how have you not been to Florida? And you've been to all these obscure states. And I'm like, because I needed a real good reason to go to Florida, and I've saved it. And I think coming and hanging out with AB in Florida might be the reason I need to come.
Come on, let's go.
So, all right, buddy. Well, thanks a lot, AB. Congrats again on the championship and and everything going on with AB Motorsports, buddy.
All right, Jim. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on.